The best girl in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters? Maybe. In today's video, we are going to be highlighting the greatest moments from Taya Gardner or Anzu Mizaki from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters anime. We have done a video like this for Kaiba, Little Yugi, and Yami Yugi, and in today's video, I felt it was time to give some respect to the original lead girl. I hope you guys are all doing well, and without further ado, let's just begin. I hope you all enjoy. Number 10, Taya beats Joey in a duel, episode 2.
私のターンね。じゃ、魔法カード。神の息吹をぶつけるわ。城之内のライフポイントはこれでゼロね。またまた私の勝ち。
So I know what you guys might be thinking. Really, Dylan? We're using an off-screen duel that lasts 60 seconds as one of her greatest moments. Listen, she doesn't have that many iconic moments throughout the show, and one element of her character that everybody loves to point to is how she's one of the only duelists who dueled 3 times and won every single duel they were in. Well, when you give that factoid, this is one of those duels. She beats Joey in episode 2, Honda tells Joey that he sucks, and all around, it's a hilarious moment. Yes, I'm aware this duel is 90% off screen, and it's before Joey really has any idea what he's doing, but I still think it's a pretty signature moment for Taya Gardner. Number 9, calming down a Tem during Berserker Soul.
とっくにハガのライフはゼロよ。もう勝負はついたのよ。
The Berserker Soul sequence is one of the most iconic sequences, point blank period, in all of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And one of the more underrated elements, in my opinion, of this sequence is how Taya was vital in calming down Yami Yugi during his rage. Yami Yugi believes that Weevil has torn the card of Yugi Muto, and when Weevil tells him he was just joking around, Yami Yugi loses it. And if it wasn't for Taya running over with tears in her eyes, physically grabbing Yami Yugi to restrain him, I don't know how that sequence would have ended. Like, I genuinely feel Yami Yugi may have continuously attacked Weevil's unconscious body, and I give Taya a lot of props for intervening in the anger. Number 8, Drawing the Friendship Circle, Episode 1.
さあみんな、手を出して。ほら、私たちの友情の印。マジックのインクなんてすぐ消えちゃうけど、私たちの心の中でこの泡は決して消えたりしない。
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is known for its corny, silly friendship speeches. It's at the core of many of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, and in the very first episode of Duel Monsters, we see Taya draw the friendship circle. It took me way too many years of my life to realize that this is just a smiley face. I think I was literally like in my late teens when I realized that, which is a little embarrassing. But Taya drawing this friendship circle is something that was pivotal to the plot point of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, where friendships and bonds got Yugi and his gang out of a lot of really tough situations. And I think this is one of the greatest physical embodiments of the friendship bonds that the crew had, and that's all thanks to Taya. Number 7, Leaving for America, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions. So at the end of Dark Side of Dimensions, we see Taya say goodbye to all of her friends, get on a plane, and leave for America. I always felt this was an amazing way to conclude her character, as being a dancer over in America was always one of her main dreams. And the fact that she was able to actually achieve that dream and feel courageous enough to leave Japan and pursue those goals on her own, I think speaks to her determination, her bravery, and her character overall. I think it's a great ending for her, and it deserves to be one of her greatest moments. Number 6, Berating Kaiba in Duelist Kingdom, Episode 24.
デュエリストとしてなんと愚かな行為を。
いいえ、違うわ。ゲームに負けたのは海馬くん。最後まで自分と向かい合う勇気が持てなかったんだもの。遊戯はあなたのたった一つの命のチップを守ったのよ。
Personally, I think this is one of my favorite Taya moments. Kaiba talks about how weak Yugi is because he called off his attack, an attack that would have subsequently sent Kaiba flying from the top of a building and killed him, and says because he hesitated, he deserved to lose. And of all Yugi's friends standing there, Taya is the one that stands up and completely snaps at Kaiba, calling him the real loser of the duel. It's one of her greatest insult streaks, I think, and I also think she was totally justified in what she said. And I love how Kaiba doesn't even snap back at her, because I think deep down, Kaiba knows that she's right. It's a really cool moment for her, and maybe I have it a little too low, but I have it here at number 6. Number 5, beating Johnny Steps in a dance-off, episode 53. I know this is another one where some people might laugh, but this is an iconic Taya moment. The official Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube channel uploaded 60 minutes of Taya dancing, and no, I am not just making that up, which is of course a reference to this moment. Johnny Steps is one of the best dancers in Domino City. Taya challenges him to a DDR game, and in the middle of that game, Johnny Steps tries to push Taya. He even tries to hit her with a right hook, which is insane. But even through the dirty tactics of Johnny Steps, Taya ends up winning the game, which just shows how great of a dancer she is, which of course is a core element of her character. And after Johnny Steps loses the duel, Taya berates Johnny for giving up and actually convinces Johnny to turn over a new leaf. All in all, I think it was a good moment for her, and it kicks off the top 5. Number 4, stepping up to Duel Mai when Yugi was struggling, episode 25.
私の負けよ。心が潮時だわ。でも勝負はまだ。ハーピーを失ったら、私のデュエルは終わったも同然なのよ。やったー!
This is right after the fallout of Yugi interrupting Yami Yugi's attack against Kaiba, causing him to lose the duel and seemingly putting saving his grandfather out of reach. Well, it's not until Taya steps up against Mai and challenges her to a duel. Not only is Taya able to put up a decent fight against Mai, she actually defeats Mai thanks to Mai surrendering. Now, we don't really know how the duel would have played out if it continued. Probably not so well for Taya, but who knows? It's a win for Taya, and Taya gives all the star chips to Yugi and gives Yugi a new lease on life in the department of being able to get to Pegasus's castle and save his grandfather. It's an amazing moment for Taya. It shows how much she cares about Yugi, and she basically snaps Yugi out of this funk as they go in to Pegasus's castle. Number 3, loses her soul and leaps into danger in Pyramid of Light.
Yugi. Anzu!
Anzu-chan!
Yugi.
Man, this is a great moment for Taya, and I know it gets forgotten about because it's in Pyramid of Light, but I'll tell you what, rewatching it, I actually thought about putting this even closer to the top. I think number 3 is fair. Hope is seemingly fading for our gang. Yami Yugi is losing the duel to Seto Kaiba inside the Pyramid of Light, while Yugi, Tristan, and Joey are all trapped within the eye of the pyramid, and Taya is able to spot her friends within the pyramid and decides to jump out of the helicopter, losing her soul and being able to relay the message to Yami, Yugi, and Kaiba that they are in the middle of a Yami no game. She's also able to reach Joey, Tristan, and Yugi by doing this. It is one of the most brave things a Yu-Gi-Oh character can do, sacrificing her soul for the greater good of her friends, and it shows how much Taya values her friends. It's an amazing moment. It deserves to be number 3. Number 2, defeating Crump in the virtual world, episode 103.
ブラックマジシャン
ブラックマジシャンバカなまさき16歳のデッキにそのカードは入ってないはず
certainly her greatest win. I know Taya has a couple of misplays in this duel, but I'll tell you what, go stand in one of those industrial freezers for 15 minutes, pull up Duel Links or Master Duel on your phone, and then try to duel. It's not going to be easy. Every time Taya took damage, her body slowly got enveloped in ice, freezing cold ice. And when your body reaches low temperatures, as I'm sure she did, you can't think straight. I think that's an element of realism that people overlook in this duel. It was an amazing, brave performance by her, and to somehow get Dark Magician onto her field thanks to a card she picked, Sage's Stone, along with Dark Magician Girl using her Deckmaster ability, it was a wonderful win for Taya, certainly her most impressive, especially given the environmental circumstances. Number 1, solved how to learn Yami Yugi's name, episode 219.
あったわ。真実の名を伝える方法が。
何？
みんな、あの古代文字を思い浮かべて。さあ、みんなの力を一つに合わせるのよ。
さ
This is something that I think a lot of people probably forgot about. Dude, if it wasn't for Taya at the end of the Millennium World arc, Zork very well may have won, and the entire world may have been lost. While Yami, Yugi, Tristan, Joey, and everyone are trying to figure out how to relay Yami Yugi's name to himself, Taya is the one who realizes how exactly to do that. And with Zork breathing down their neck, Taya takes charge in explaining her rationale, and ultimately is the reason that Yami Yugi learns his name as a Tem and is able to eventually defeat Zark. I think this, given the circumstances of world-ending consequences, is the greatest moment of Taya Gardner's Yu-Gi-Oh! Career. And ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I have been loving making these videos. If you want to see more, again, I've done this for Yami, I've done this for Yugi Muto, and I've done this for Seto Kaiba. They will all be linked in the description. If you think I missed any moments, please let me know down below. I'd love to know some of your favorite Taya Gardner / Anzu Mizaki moments. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.